So, today, let's go ahead and talk about Cod Zombies 2024. And from the get-go, you may be wondering, like, why would you do that? Last I checked, the year was 2022, and 2024 is still 2 years away. That's a long time, so why are we talking about it? Well, the reason we're talking about it today is because there's a Call of Duty leaker who actually has leaked some Modern Warfare 2 stuff, and because of that, his Twitter actually got taken down. But on top of that stuff, he was actually sharing some zombies supposed leaks. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys from the get-go, I actually don't think this guy was getting leaked information from Treyarch or anything like that. But when I say that, you may be wondering, like, then why the hell are you talking about it? And fair enough, but the reason why I still think it's worth talking about is because even though he's not getting his information from a leaker inside Treyarch or something like that, I'm pretty sure he's getting his information from a pretty solid place. And what that place is called Cold War Zombies. Yeah, a lot of the stuff he talks about are things that I think were directly hinted at by Cold War or are directly affected by Cold War that I could definitely see are going to be a thing in the future because of Cold War. And you guys will see what I mean as we go through these. And also, I think you guys will see why I want to talk about these, because I think it's pretty solid speculation for what we could see in COD Zombies 2024. But to start this all off with, let's talk about the story he's supposedly leaked. And what he first said was that Richtofen and evil. So what he's saying is Richtofen or Eddie is going to be evil. And okay, I mean, I think we all kind of knew this by the end of Cold War. I mean, he was literally torturing Samantha. Like, that was a thing he was doing, and then even had her thrown into the Dark Ether, and he's also doing Project Janus, and he has the Forsaken capture and all that. Like, it doesn't seem like he's doing very good things, to say the very least. So, I think we all agreed that we already thought that was going to be the case. But the other thing he talked about in terms of story is that he was implying that the conflict inside the next game was actually not going to be between some organizations like in Cold War, where it was Requiem versus Omega, but instead it was actually going to be between individuals, and who those individuals were Eddie and Samantha. And again, much like what I've already said, is that I think this was already set up during Cold War, because like I said, Eddie's been off doing his own thing. He's been treating Samantha terribly. He's off to do his evil plan that is Janus. And who's the only person we are aware of in-game who could do anything about it, because the rest of Requiem was arrested? Well, of course that's going to be Samantha. She was sent into the Dark Ether. She's getting her powers back. Of course it's going to be her. So that is 100% what we expect. And honestly, I'm really excited for this, because there's going to be a point where Samantha remembers the past and the old Ether story and how she was alive there, and I definitely could see that is going to be a really cool reveal when it happens. But regardless, that's pretty much everything he said in terms of the story. But the other things he was sharing was that he was saying that we're going to meet the Origins robot again, or maybe just Origins. I don't know which one he really meant, but I think it was Origins robot based on some things we'll talk about here in a little bit. But he also started tweeting out pictures of the Rocket and the Rocket's dragon. And to me, I think this is another situation that he's talking about something that was hinted at during Cold War, because in a radio from Cold War, we hear a woman who's trapped in the Dark Ether telling us about what she sees there. And one of the lines that stood out to everybody since launch was her talking about medieval structures, 21st century buildings, ancient storybook creatures, and mechanical monsters. And to a lot of us, when we heard this, we thought, of course, right away he's talking about the Origins robots, probably stuff from Die Rise, and then finally the dragon from Garad Krovi or the Rocket. And because of that, I think a lot of us already assumed at some point in the future of this Dark Ether story, we were going to see these things that this person talked about. And I think that's where he's getting this information from. But of course, this brings me to the next thing, and what this first one is one that so many people misunderstood when he tweeted it, but I thought it was pretty obvious when we saw it. But what the tweet was just him tweeting out a picture of the World War II Zombies crew, and with the numbers 2024 above it. And to me, what he's clearly talking about is that inside of COD Zombies 2024, we are not going to have an exclusive operator system in Zombies, because this was a humongous L. Everybody hated this. All the homies hated this. We did not have a set playable crew, and this hurt the storytelling so much in the game, and a lot of people hated this. And because of this, I think it was pretty obvious to a lot of us that they probably weren't going to make that same mistake again. And what he's implying here is that we're going to see a system like in World War II Zombies. And for the people who are unfamiliar with what the World War II Zombies character system was, bless your souls, you didn't play that trash game. But how it worked in that game is that you would have the set crew, but then you would also have the option to play as different characters. And what he's saying here is that we're probably going to have this cross system between having set characters and operators. You're going to be able to choose between playing as a set character or an operator, and this is something that all of us been saying they should do since day one, because sometimes you do want to play as an operator that you just bought, and other days you just actually want to experience the story through these characters. And this is a humongous W if it's the case, and it's something that I think we all expected. And this brings us to kind of a little bit of a controversial one, and it's something that I also think is pretty likely. But what that is him hinting at Outbreak returning into the next Cod Zombies game. And I know a lot of people did not like Outbreak, but unfortunately for them, it seems like they were in the minority, because during Cold War, Treyarch shared with us that Outbreak was the most played thing outside of the launch of the actual game. Like, it was really that popular. You could call it as casual as you want, but that was just the facts, and I don't really think Treyarch would be lying about this. And solely because it was so popular, of course it was going to return, and I think most people who understood that expected it to return because of that. I know the round-based exclusivists are not going to be really happy about that news, but to me, I think it was a good thing. Outbreak was fine. It kind of got too much by the end of it. They added actually way too many things to it, but overall, I think it's good to have a thing like Outbreak, because unlike round-based, it's something you could constantly be updating. Like during Outbreak, they were adding new map locations, new objectives, and whole new Easter eggs. Like, that is just something that was unheard of for Zombies. We never really had a live service like that in Zombies, and that's something that I personally think Zombies needs, and it's why I think that it is going to return in the future. Regardless though, that's everything that I really wanted to talk about in terms of these rumors that have been going around. And as I said at the start of the video, the reason I want to talk about them is because I actually think they're likely, like by themselves, without even having these rumors spreading. I would probably agree that a lot of this stuff is probably going to happen anyways, but I'd still love to hear what you guys think about this. First off, do you guys think that any of this is actually likely or anything like that? And second off, if they are, do you want to have stuff like this? Are these cool ideas, or do you want to see something entirely different? Let me know down in the comment section below. Regardless though, if you guys did enjoy the video, I would appreciate if you guys dropped a like, subscribe, bell, share, or any of that great stuff. But I'm going to go, and I'll catch you guys next stream, video, or whatever the heck it may be. And laters, guys.